Um, so I'm going to be switching back and forth between screens. I made some notes on my other screen, but we're going to be talking, like I said, about to-do lists and how I organize my to-do list to make it easier for me during the day, and a couple of different apps that I use. Hold on just a second. Okay, so first I want to show you, oops, hold on. I'm pushing too many buttons here. Weston, Cecilia's calling. Okay. I'm going to screen share. So I learned this from Chalene Johnson. This is what she does with her business, and I really, really like it. So what I do is I make a master to-do list. It's my to-do list. So a list of my to-do lists. And basically I write on here everything that I need to do for my business, weekly, daily, monthly, whatever it is, to keep it going. And this is a smaller version of mine because some of the things that I do, you guys don't do yet. Like a lot of things that have to do with my newsletter and stuff. So that's a whole different phone call. But basically, I have this huge master list that I use when I'm creating my to-do list for the day. So at the very top, I wrote every single day, no matter what. These are the things that I do every single day, no matter what. So when I say I have a rest day for my business, like Thursdays are my quote unquote rest day, I still do those. I work out, I drink Shakeology, I do work personal development. I still invite, I still follow up and add to my network and post on my personal page, because those are everyday activities that I do no matter what. All the other things I try to divide over the other days. So just to go through a few, and just FYI, this might stress you out hearing all of these things that you do every day or weekly. Like when you actually write it down on paper, you're like, no wonder why I'm stressed and don't have enough time in my day. This is a lot of stuff to do on top of working and family and everything else that you do in your life. But you post in your free groups or your training groups. You post in your challenge groups. You post on your team page. You check your downline. You check your email. You check your email leads. Or you email your leads that Beachbody sends you. You plan out your week. You plan out each day, the to-do list for each day, which takes time. You use Hootsuite to Hootsuite any groups that are necessary. You update your friends list, mail out prizes, create event pages, create banners for event pages, create banners for your personal page, make training videos, host team calls, plan out team calls, check on coaches at least once a week, check on challengers individually. That's just for your personal business. If you have a like page, you schedule posts, you do like ladders, you set up ads, you create banners, you respond to comments, you respond to like page messages, you look up posts and schedule for your like page. That takes time. If you do My Fitness Pal, you add 10 friends per day, you message 10 a day, you post each day, you like each other's posts, you interact on your wall, you log your food, you respond to return messages, and you track it all in a spreadsheet. And for Instagram, you follow people until you get to 1,500, then you unfollow until you get to 300 or 400. You message 10 new people a day, respond to messages, respond to comments, use hashtags, research hashtags, post at least once a day, something of value. That's a lot of stuff to do every single day. Like, that's a lot. So if you're feeling stressed, that's why. So how I break it down is, let me go to another sheet here. And I have what's called my master to-do list. And this is my master to-do list. Up at the top in red, it says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and there's Sunday. So the 7 days of the week. Every Monday, since I have Mondays off and Cecilia's in daycare, I fill this out because I have a little bit of extra time. So Mondays, I plan the rest of my days. I put those 6 or 7 things that I do every single day, I put those at the top in the first 6 or 7 things. And then I write down everything I need to do that day. So I invite personal development. I post in my free group. I post in challenge group, post my food diary. I do tons of stuff every single day. And some of it varies, like update this list is one of the things. That's only on Monday, not on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's only on Mondays that I update the list. I have my assistant, and then Weston's been helping me with some stuff. So I write out their lists and make sure they know what to do the rest of the week until the following Monday. I do that every Monday. Hootsuite I do on Mondays. I look up stuff for my like page on Pinterest. I do that all on Monday. I get it all set up on Monday. Monday is like a 12-hour work day. I get a ton of stuff done. And right now I have this free group going on. So every day I'm adding people from the free group as my friends and talking to them and building relationships. And that's not something that I do every week because I don't have a free group every single week. So some of the stuff varies and some of it does not. So every Monday I go through and I do this. The stuff highlighted in purple is what my assistant does. So I cross it out after I see that she's got it done. And to cross it out, all you do is click on it. And then up here, it's like bold. You can do bold, italicize, or strike through. You just do a strike through. Cross it off your list. I don't want to delete it or like erase it because next Monday I want all of that in there and I can just take the strike through away on all of them and have my to-do list reset. I'll have to take some stuff off because I won't be having a free group anymore and add some things. But the main things will be on there. Let me strike through those, otherwise I'll think I didn't do them. And that's also so it's kind of like your BAT, the business activity tracker, which Beachbody really wants us to use and for real purpose. That's a to-do list that they have given us. And this is basically your BAT broken down even further. The reason why I like this better is because I have it on Google Docs, which is one of the apps that I want you guys to either start using or if you're already using it, download it on your phones. It's huge. It is a spreadsheet or a regular worksheet app that you can use. And as soon as you edit this, it saves it. So you don't have to worry about, oh my gosh, I just did all this work and it's gone. It saves it. And it's on the internet and not on your computer. So I can go to work and leave my desktop computer at home and still have my to-do list on my lunch hour at work on that computer. I just have to log into Google and my to-do list will be right there. When I go to Utah, I'm going to probably bring my computer, but say I was going on a family vacation and didn't want to bring my computer. I can pull this up from my phone and I can edit it all from my phone from the Sheets app, the Google Sheets. So that's a huge app. I use it every day, numerous times a day for numerous different things, tons of different things, but mainly my to-do list. And as you can see, it's Monday night, and I have the only thing left is follow and unfollow. Blue is Weston. He's working on that right now, and I know he's going to get it done. I didn't mail out prizes today. I didn't make it to the post office. That's okay. I can move that to another day. Not a huge deal. And create a page, challenge group event pages. I'm going to do that all this week. Make sure it's done because my paid group starts in like 2 weeks. And that's another thing I want to just quick add is what I did for my free clean eating group. The Crock-Pot group this time was created, I think it was 4 different events. So I was able, because you can only invite 500 friends to each event. So I created 4 different events and was able to invite all of my friends. And that clean eating group is huge. There's like 250 people in there and about 100 of them I'm not friends with yet. So I'm working my way through there and adding them as friends. Who is it? Erin? Hey, Erin.
Hi.
Hi. So I think I'm going to start doing that anytime I make an event page and start making multiple event pages so that I can invite them all of my friends to every group. You're going to lose friends that way, but that's okay. You're also going to gain friends. Facebook is your business. It's like your storefront. So if you lose a friend, think of it as, okay, they walked in. How many times have you walked into a new store, like, oh, this looks cute, let's go in, and never bought anything and walked right back out? and you feel kind of awkward. You're like, the person says hi when you walk in, especially if it's a little boutique, and you look at all their stuff and it is really cute, but you're like, no, it's just not for me. And you walk back out. That's kind of how Facebook is. It's your storefront. People will add you as a friend. If they don't vibe with you, if they just don't really, if you're not on the same level as them, and you're not attracting them in any certain way, they're probably going to delete you as a friend eventually. And that's fine. But you're going to also have a lot of friends come and really fall in love with you and want to meet you someday. It's so weird how many times people say that. Like, I posted about the Utah trip coming up this week, and there were 2 girls that commented, I live in Utah, we should meet up. And I'm like, oh, that's so crazy. Like, I would never, not that I wouldn't meet up with them, but it was just like, oh, cool. And those girls have been following me for years and just have become friends. So anyways, I got off track there, but don't worry if you get unfriended. It's not personal. It's like, this is your business. They walked in your store, they didn't want anything, and they left. Think about it that way. That's not a problem. So let me go back to my notes. I wrote everything out because I knew I would forget what I wanted to talk about. So Google Docs, that is an app that I want everybody to download onto their phones and start using it. The apps and the sheets. The sheets are the spreadsheets. They're awesome. I think, Sarah, you're the one who actually got me into all of this. You showed me, that's another thing I wanted to show you guys, how I use the spreadsheets for follow-ups, okay? So you can see all my spreadsheets here. I have a family cleaning calendar, which is really helpful. So I don't have to clean the whole house twice a month. I do a couple things every day, and I don't get overwhelmed. Or Weston helps. He can do a couple things a day. But my follow-ups, this is awesome. So Sarah actually taught me this, how you can have numerous spreadsheets kind of in one. So can everybody see the bottom of the spreadsheet down here? It says September, November, December, next group, 3DR, which is 3-day refresh, Fixate, sell text. I have all of these different spreadsheets down here. And these are all of my follow-ups. On Super Saturday, we learned from Janelle Summers, who said it, that she said she always challenges her her coaches in like a basics group and says, immediately, I want to see a list of people that you've offered the coaching opportunity to in the past month. And she said almost always they're scrambling because they don't have a list. They're like, oh crap, and they don't have a list. Lists are huge follow-up lists. And I have just started doing this in like January it was. And I wish I would have started when I first started coaching because it's very helpful. But every time I have a coaching open house or a webinar or anything, I go to this coaching tab and I see the people that I've talked to recently or have ongoing conversations with about coaching and what it is to be a coach, people who are interested. And I message them directly. I invite them to the event, but I also PM them and say, hey, I don't know if you saw the event. We were talking about coaching, but it's a great idea or thing to learn about coaching. Feel free to RSVP to the event. And I give them a direct link to the event. And they almost always RSVP. They're like, oh, cool, thanks. I wouldn't have seen that. So it's nice to have these. When 21 Day Fix went on sale, I went to my 21 Day Fix app spreadsheet and looked at all of these people, searched them on Facebook and saw when the last time I talked to them was and let them know that it was on sale. And then added them to here. Plus, I have these like November, let's say, or September. Let's look at October. So these are people that I talked to at one point in time, and they all have told me, not right now. I really like what you're doing. I'm not ready right now, but get back with me in a couple months. I think I'll be ready in the fall. So whenever somebody says that to me, I say, okay. And I don't just assume I'm going to remember because you're not. You're never ever going to remember that. So you add them to a follow-up spreadsheet. So these are all people that I knew I wanted to talk to in October, and I have ongoing conversations with them because of this sheet. Some of them, when I was going through them, I was like, wow, we talked back in June and she said to message her in October. I would never remember that. So it's a good thing that I do this, follow-ups are huge, 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 huge. And it has to be a part of your business. I also have a pray for tab that I forget to add people to, but I need to remember. So there's only 2 people on there, and there's a lot of people that you run across that need prayers or whatever, and you think, wow, I really do want to pray for them. Because when you talk to people, you get connected to them and actually develop friendships. So it's nice to remember people that way too. Or I have, I think I have a pregnant friend one. Well, maybe not. Nope, I think I added that to a different spreadsheet. But anyway, that's how I do follow-ups. I want to show you how I invite. I just started doing this not too long ago. Well, my assistant actually, because she does most of my inviting, and I love it. So this is another Google Docs or Google spreadsheet. I posted a link to the video to teach you how to do this, but you can download a list of all of your friends, just every single person you're friends with on Facebook. So watch that video, learn how to do it. It's super easy. And I just copy and pasted the list into a spreadsheet. And then you click the very last line. I can actually show you how to do it in a minute. So right here, I added a couple people today. So if you click the very last line, if they're out of order, the very last blank square, go up to data, sort sheet by column A to Z. It puts it all into alphabetical order. This lady's name is at the bottom because she's got a funky first name, but everybody else is in alphabetical order. And all I did was go through, and I don't message men to my channel, to private message them to come to my challenge group. They get an event invite, but I don't PM them. So if they were males, I put male next to it. If they were somebody I knew I don't want my assistant really talking to, like family, I put that. If they're a coach, or if it's somebody that I've talked to numerous times and they've always said no, I don't PM them anymore. If they're pregnant, whatever, that's the second line. So when she's going through and inviting people for me, she can see, oh, okay, don't message this person, don't message this person. And then in the third column, she just writes the date of the last time they were invited, or I talked to them, the last time I messaged them. So when I'm going through and I'm doing my invite, so 30 invites is what I do a day. That's a lot. Don't feel like you have to do that. I used to do 10, and that's a good number if you're just getting started. But if you have time to do more, that's good. But I go through, and if I haven't messaged them in a couple months, I'll look that person up, see how their life is doing, and message them. And if I've never messaged them, if they're a new friend and I've never messaged them, I'll message them. So here's a whole bunch of people that haven't been messaged in a while. There's not even a date. So that's where I'll work next. But that's how I do my invites. And then every day I go to my Facebook. It's on my to-do list. And I go into my friends. And you go to recently added. And here are all the people that have been added in the past however long. I know I added Stephanie, and they're in order of how you added them. Stephanie Newman was the last one I added to my spreadsheet. So all of these other people above her, I added today as friends from my free group, and I have to add them into my spreadsheet tomorrow. And I look at their profiles. If they're coach, I'll put coach next to their name so my assistant doesn't message them, etc. And I add them into my spreadsheet. And that's how I try to keep that updated, is by doing that every day or every other day. So that is my system for inviting. What questions? Do you guys have any questions so far about any of that? Nope.
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind sharing with us your the first thing that you had that we talked about.
The what?
The very first thing that you had showed us before
Yes.
this list. Would you share that with us?
Yes.
Is it posted on the team page or anything?
Not yet. I was going to after this call. I was going to share
The
this
to-do
on the
list,
team
yeah.
page,
Yeah.
the to-do list. So you
Yeah.
can go through and be like, okay, yeah, and make your own to-do list. Is that okay?
Yeah, and then your Excel or your
Yep, I can share my
spreadsheet
actual
has it.
spreadsheet.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Let's see. Master to-do list. This one is what? That one.
I know
Yep.
that you said we have to watch the video to watch how you move names over from Facebook into the spreadsheet, and it's really simple. But in the scenario that you had just a moment ago, from Stephanie on up, do you manually go in, or is there a different way that you typically do it? Because there's only like maybe 10 people you added or something like that after Stephanie.
Yeah. So what's the question?
So
Sorry.
That's okay. Do you manually type them out? Like
Yeah.
you look at your list and then you or okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't take too long. And it just depends on how many you're adding per day. This week I'm adding a lot because I have my free group running. And a lot of other times, yeah, it just all depends. You can download. I just tried to download another list actually, because what I was going to do initially was download that friends list every single month. And when I went into it, there was an error loading the page. So I'm going to try it again next week and see if the error is gone. I don't know what happened there. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So you can do it however you want. You can download a new list every week if you wanted, and then just all you would do is copy your friends again, add it to the same spreadsheet, put them in alphabetical order, and then delete the doubles, which would take just as long as manually adding your 10 friends a day. That would take a little bit of time. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. Or like Sarah, you and Eric, one of you could delete the doubles while the other one's inviting. You guys can really take advantage of having two of you working the business. And then if anybody else has a husband that's willing to help, that's something that somebody else could do, easily. Just delete the doubles. That's click, click, click. It wouldn't take too long and be too hard. Any other questions? Those are good questions. Right now? Not yet? Okay, let me go back to my list of what I'm going to be talking about. Oh, right here.
So when you created all of these Google documents, did you create them on the computer and then access them on your phone then?
I usually do, just because I can type a lot faster on my computer. Yeah. Yep. But you can, if you download the app, at least on my iPhone, like I have the Google Sheets and Google Docs app. Let's see if you guys can see it. They're like right here and right here. You can go in there and edit it from your phone.
That you have on there?
Huh?
Is it Drive that you're looking at? Because I can't see it.
No, it's not. It's an actual, I have Drive, but it's an actual Google Docs app. So let me go back. See if you guys can see. I need to I'll screenshot it and circle it in PicMonkey or something and then send it to the group page. That's probably much easier. Because you can't, in Google Drive app, you can look at them, but you can't edit them. And the actual Docs and Sheets app, you can actually edit them, which is helpful, especially when you're away from everything. Let's see. Oh, yes. Another tip for your to-do list is when you're looking at your to-do list, everybody's going to have a thing that's scary for them. A lot of times it's inviting and following up. So I suggest doing those first. The reason why is because usually when we first start out the day, it's either in the morning or afternoon that you'll first start your to-do list. If you get the scariest thing done first, the rest of the day is going to be easier. You're just going to be like, okay, sweet, that's easy. That scary thing's done. Now on to the fun stuff. If you save it till the end of the day, you're going to procrastinate and you're probably going to skip it. To be honest with yourself, you're probably going to skip it. And our brains, no matter if you're a night owl or not, our brains don't function as well after being awake for 8 to 10 hours. So you're the chirpest, your brain is highly functioning, in the morning or right after you wake up. So that's a great time to invite people and follow up with them and talk to them, because you're more likely to be nice and not say something that you don't, that you regret, and to be a little bit more on your game. And then save the easy stuff for when you're watching TV at night. That's what I do, because I like to sit on the couch, put my laptop in my lap, and do something easy. Like I like to search Pinterest to find new things to post on my like page, and scheduling posts for my like page, doing stuff that I can do on commercials, that I can do while talking to my husband, following and unfollowing on Instagram. That's easy. You can just do that anytime during the day. So that kind of stuff, save until the night, because it's mindless activities. It's necessary, but it's mindless. And I recommend picking one other social media outlet besides your personal Facebook page and sticking to it for at least 3 months. So if you're a new coach or if you're just starting your business up, I would not do a like page, a personal page, Instagram, MyFitnessPal, Twitter. I wouldn't do it all. I would do your personal page and then pick one thing and stick to it. Watch a lot of training videos on that one thing. Do as much training as you can, as much research as you can, and get really good at it and develop a system that works for you. And once you feel like, okay, this is like easy, it doesn't take that much time for me anymore, move on and master the next thing. So at first I worked on my like page really hard. That's how I got to like 7,000 likes, and it continues to grow, just not as fast as it used to. And then I went to MyFitnessPal. I got that down. I figured out exactly what to do every day to add people from there. And now I'm working on Instagram, and it's working really well for me, getting people from Instagram to my personal page. So over the course of 2 years, I mastered 3 different things, but it took a long time for each. So just pick one and stick to it. And whatever one you want, whatever one you feel most comfortable with. A like page is it's going to be all about getting as many followers as possible. So posting things on there that are popular, that people are going to share, and that people are going to like. It doesn't have to be about your business. It doesn't matter. If you post a funny video that's gone viral that everybody's sharing and you post it on your page, you're going to get a ton of likes just because you posted that viral video on your page. So you don't have to make it about fitness. Every now and then you throw a fitness thing in there, but make sure you're getting likes from other things. MyFitnessPal is all about one-on-one relationships and logging your food and just being there, just kind of liking things and commenting and supporting other people. Instagram is all about 5 seconds of knowledge, as what you can give somebody in 5 seconds as they're scrolling through. Everything you want them to know needs to be able to be seen in that one picture. So a picture of you, which I do, I'm not very good at Instagram yet, but I'm learning. But just a picture of like a selfie of you by, with the sunset behind you. People they might like it just to be courteous, like, oh, it's Stephanie, hey, like, but it's not going to get them interacting. Now, if you put a picture of a really yummy looking meal and say recipe below, they're going to stop and read the recipe. They're going to be like, well, hold up, that looks really good. Let me stop and read this. They're probably going to like it. They're probably going to comment and copy and paste it, whatever, and start following you and think, oh, I need to follow her because I want more recipes. So Instagram is all about value and what you can get people to stop scrolling with. And then Twitter, I have never used Twitter before in my life. I don't even have an account, so I can't tell you how to use Twitter. But if you already use it, then you guys figure out a system and let me know. That'll be my next thing. Same with Periscope. That'll be my next thing. I'm not onto that yet. But the point of that whole talking scheme was pick one thing and stick to it for 3 months and figure it out. One more thing I want you guys to download if you haven't already. Oh, hold on. This is in my way. Is Evernote. Do you all have Evernote?
No.
Oh, I love Evernote. You need it. You need it. It's so awesome. And okay, so Evernote is a place where you can put notes, and it's just like Google Docs, but they're all saved in one spot. You have notebooks. So let me go to my notebooks here. These are my notebooks. So this one I labeled for my assistant. I gave her her to-do list is written out per day, and I have like details, like this is what I gave her to do today. And then she always tells me her time in and out. She doesn't have to. I trust her, but she writes that in there. I don't make her do that. And then I have the biggest thing I use in here is my script. So when I'm talking to somebody and they say they're interested in a challenge group, I go here and I copy and paste this whole thing. This is my script too. Copy it and then paste it into the message. And I can do that off of my phone. So when I'm talking to somebody on my phone on Messenger, it's so easy to just go over there. You double click to select all, and then you click again and you can copy. I don't remember how you do it, but it does take a second to learn that. And then you go back to your Messenger and you hit paste. So much easier than using your little thumbs to constantly type out the same thing. It's so much easier. And you can also save pictures in here. So my before and after picture is in here from my first 90 days. That's what people always say. How much can I lose with this program? You know, this is what I send them. I don't send that as much anymore. I do other ones now. But then I have follow-ups in here. I have responses. If somebody tells me it's too much money, I have responses in there. All of my scripting, invites. This is where my assistant goes. She knows a brand new cold invite is somebody who I've never talked to before. That's my friend. And she copies and pastes this into an invite, into a PM. So that's in there. I have recipe. I just started a recipe one. So there's only 2 recipes in there right now. But it'll be nice when people ask, hey, can I get that recipe you mentioned a couple months ago? Sure. I'll just go in here, copy and paste, and send it. It's super easy. Challenge group outline. I have some of them in here. That I don't use as often because I use Hootsuite. So I don't really use that often, but some coaches do. They put everything in here, and then they, instead of using Hootsuite, they go in there and copy and paste every day. I don't have time to do that, so I use Hootsuite. My first notebook. If I am, like, say, 8 o'clock in the morning, I have this awesome post. I'm like, wow, I'm so inspired right now. I feel amazing. I just want to write a post, but it's not a good time to post it, you know, like about how much I love the business, etc. I put it in here. I type it out in here. So right here, I want to address something that's been on my mind off and on for a while. I type out this long, heartfelt post that I know I want to post sometime, just not at that time because it's not a good time. 8 p.m. is a better time for these. That way at 8 p.m. I can just go in there and copy and paste it. Because at 8 p.m. I am not inspired. I don't want to write out a long post. I have no words left. I'm just like, blah, you know. So then I have something to post at 8 p.m. And then like the 21-day fix sale, I just leave this in here. It's on sale like every other month. So I just copy and paste this every time with a before and after. Stephanie, today you won the before and after. I was like, oh, Stephanie. So, and I leave them in there, those really long ones, because sometimes I like to go back and read them because it inspires me again. I'm like, wow, remember how I felt that day? I want to feel that again. I read it and it gets me into it again. So that's what I use this for, but mainly for the scripts. So Evernote, huge, huge. Download it on your phone, sign up online, and it just goes everywhere. My assistant can log in here, and so can Weston. So Weston, he does all my Instagram. Here's my hashtags that I use. Yep. You copy and paste your hashtags, goes so much faster into the comment section, not in your description. And then he messages 10 people a day with this message. So then he just copies it and pastes it 10 times a day. Super, super simple. We have less than a minute, so it's gonna kick me off. But I think that was all. One more thing, you need to have a monthly calendar. I did a team call about that. It was either last week or the week before. If you haven't watched that team call, watch it. It talks all about monthly calendars and how to use them. Today was more about weekly and daily. But I have a monthly calendar. It's sitting right here. And I talk about it in my team call from a week or two ago. I can't remember when it was, but it's posted in the Motivation Nation. So, and then that was it. We're going to get cut off any second. Any questions before we do?
Can we have your login and password for Evernote?
No.
Sorry, I had it.
But my script is all in the Motivation Nation. So you just copy and paste it into Evernote.
Okay. I was just kidding.
I love it.
I was like, I really want to rummage through her stuff.
Anytime you have a question, just let me know. I mean, I have tons and tons of stuff in there. Oh, that's great. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, really, you could have my login. All I have is stuff in here that is nothing personal. So I can message you my login. I don't want to just put it out there on the team page, but I can do that well, actually, yeah, I can PM you, Sarah. It has some passwords in it and stuff too, so I don't want everybody to have it. Okay. But you can. I trust you.
If you're not comfortable, don't worry about it. Really, no,
it's nice. How about I copy and paste some